If you've been collecting all the tools, journaling your heart out, doing the meditations, but you're looking for something more embodied, what you're looking for is mentorship. But what is mentorship? And how is it going to make a real difference for me? Well, stay tuned. We're going to answer all of that. But first, what is wrong with tools? Nothing. End of video. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's nothing wrong with tools. I offer the tools to my clients too. Tools are awesome, but they're not enough on their own. I remember when I knew nothing about this self-development world and I started to dive into all this stuff. Oh my gosh, I was gobbling it up. Like it was just all new. I was learning so much. I was having breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, realizations, ahas, opening of my mindset, my consciousness. Wow. It was wild. And I went down the rabbit hole hard. But it came a point where it's like, and tell me if you can resonate. Oh, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that. And sometimes oh yeah, I knew that, but the way they said it really kind of resonated. But it's starting to become less and less often. Because now there's kind of like a little bit of like that resigned and cynical kind of plateau area when it's like you've learned so much, you read the books, you took the courses, you work with coaches, like you've just been so in it, and now it's just like, oh, well, I know all this stuff, but what's wrong with my life not transforming? How come I'm still having these old patterns showing up? Why am I still stuck in some old stuff if I know all the tools and I kind of understand all that? And maybe now you're going to other trainings and courses and reading books and you're like, oh yeah, I know that. I know that. Well, the I know that is kind of a trap. And you've probably heard people say before, like, bring your beginner's mind, because that makes such a difference, right? If you bring your beginner's mind, then you're starting to see what you know from a different lens. Why? Because if we stay at the level of the knowing, we're not embodied. But what I have found, even if you come with a beginner's mind, you can go deeper in your understanding. And maybe you start applying some stuff because that's already big. Like some people just stay at the knowing and they don't even apply. So maybe you've been knowing and applying some stuff. But then what happens is that there's so many tools. I know for me, I felt drowned in all these tools. I remember even creating a jar with every tool I knew. I put like on a piece of paper folded. So whenever I felt stuck, I could just pick from the jar because I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I need right now. I know I'm kind of stuck. I can see it. I have the awareness. Great. That's such an improvement. But what do I do with that? So there's nothing wrong per se with the tools. Tools can be so useful. I recommend and utilize tools all the time on myself and with my clients. But if you're on your own, doing the tools, doing the courses, reading the books, and you're feeling like, I know that, but still feeling stuck in certain patterns, it's not because you need more tools. It's not because you need to find the solution, the new knowledge that you haven't found. It's because you need someone to help mirror back to you. You need a mirror. You need someone intuitive, a mentor, someone that's walked the path to help you find the blind spot, to help you move on to that kind of like little edge that's your next level. So let's say you started here. All the initial learning stuff, like I said, like diving deep, like going into the rabbit hole of everything, courses, books, coaches, all of that, like that just got you like to super jump over here, okay? But then the next level might just be like a minute thing. You don't necessarily need all this knowledge. Like as you get to this level, like at some point it's just like one minute thing that you like a blind spot, you're like, oh, and then poof, you start to quantum jump. And here's the thing, you need something a bit more personalized. That's what I found for myself. Like I ended up feeling so heavy, so like burdened by all these things, like all these daily routines. Like, okay, I need to wake up, do my exercise, do my incantations, then I need to meditate, and then I need to have my celery juice, and then go on a walk and do more incantations and do my box breathing and oh my goodness. And then before bed, I need to do my reading and then another meditation. And I also have my journaling with answering certain specific questions. It just didn't end. Like I felt like, wow, like I need so much time of my day just to cater to my self-development because I'm reading here and there and these are the habits you need to have and this person does that, and if I'm not having the results, like I need just to like more mindset work. But then that felt so freaking heavy. Comment below, like let me know how that resonates with you. What I have found for me personally and with my clients is that adding on more stuff to us is not always what's gonna help. Really, we want to start, yes, undressing the layers of what is in us, not starting to add more tools and stuff to our lives. Again, not that tools are not useful, they are, and we might use some of these things. But when you work with a mentor, you can have more of a personalized approach, a personalized, tailored way forward. Because here's the deal. If you're adding on all this stuff and you're looking outside of yourself, what other people are doing, you're modeling. Modeling is a great tool. But if you're just taking it as like, okay, I need to do this, do that, and you're adding stuff to your day, to your routines, to all this stuff in order to, I don't know, I guess I need that to transform and get to my next level and feel better and feel fulfilled and joyful and not be so freaking reactive and triggered and have better relationships, right? All of these things that self-development brings and self-awareness brings and embodying that brings. But if you're looking outside of yourself, you're still stuck in a performing place, in the good girl place. And if you don't know about good girl, I made a video on good girl versus goddess. So I'll put the link somewhere so you can go check that next. But pretty much it's all about like the good girl is all about looking outside of ourselves to be like, okay, what do I need to be, do, have all these things so I can internally. What a good mentor does is that it turns it back inner. Like, wait, hold on. What do you need? And because your mentor has walked the path before, they have enough wisdom and intuition to help guide you. And you end up with a lot less things to do and more to be. And that is effortless. With a mentor, what I have found is that I was able to pinpoint aspects in my blind spots, in my consciousness that I wasn't seeing that really helped to like do that quantum jump without needing all of these daily routines adding onto my life, feeling overwhelmed that now I have to do all these things or I'm never going to reach whatever self-development goal I have with my relationship, with my internal world, my emotions, all of these things, my mindset. It's not about adding on a new tool. Tools are useful. But deeper transformation, I have found, oftentimes happens in sisterhood. Oftentimes happens in being accompanied, in being seen, in being held, in being witnessed, especially by someone who's walked the path before, especially by someone who knows how to hold that space, especially by someone who has done the work themselves. So this is how mentorship can make such a difference. If you're stuck in tools and adding more trainings, not that these things are not great. Yes, I take trainings all the time. I'm part of a high-level mastermind. I have a mentor. I do courses. Like, I'm a lifelong learner, but I don't stop at just the learning. I don't stop as just a personal practice. I make sure to go out there and get myself in sisterhood and get myself in mentorship. Because I know that this is what's going to take me to my next level much faster, much easier, with a lot less pain, and a lot more fun and joy and desire. And it's so much more fun to not be alone on this journey and to know that someone else has been there so I can see what's actually possible for me. And it inspires me that, hey, I can get there. they were here too, and they got there, and now they're guiding me, and I can get there too. So what is a true mentor? How do you select your mentor? Oh gosh, like I was so lucky that early on in my journey, I found my spiritual teacher who was my mentor. My first real mentor, I would say. And she was amazing, but she was aging, and so she stopped practicing. So for a while, I was mentorless. Okay. I was in search of my mentor. I was in search of someone that could truly hold me and truly care about where I'm going, my growth, and that could actually move me forward. I did, of course, courses, books, all that stuff. I never stopped. And then I tried to work with certain coaches. And they were excellent coaches, nothing wrong with them. I just never found that they were able to really go deep, go to the core of things. So we were much more working on the presenting issue. They were listening to me, and then they were just tasking me to do things. And that type of coaching can work really well. And I've done this type of coaching, especially with men that, in the business context, when I was a Tony Robbins coach back in the day. And so they loved it. They wanted the accountability. They wanted to come on, bish, bash, bosh. Here's what's happening. Tasks. Boom. I'm going to go do this and I'm coming back. And that was beautiful for them. But I wasn't looking to get a project or something off the ground. I wasn't just building. This is a much more internal journey. This is the feminine way, really, to go at it that I was looking for. And so these coaches were not really able to pinpoint blind spots for me or help me really go to the core of things and work on that, and then give me task or soul work that's based on this, that progresses me, something that actually shifts the core issue, not just the surface stuff, and adding more tools and stuff to my life and just tasking me to do things on my own. So if I think back, what I was really looking for in a mentor was something that can really hold me and know what I need while not imposing their opinions on me. And that is the tricky part. To find that combo, I found was really hard to find. Why someone that can hold me and know what I need? Because I wanted someone that has worked the path before, that can give me some ideas, that can give me some more specific guidance. But here's what happens. A lot of people that do that starts imposing their opinions on you. They're like, oh, here's what you need. I had this client. She came to me. She was coaching with someone before. And that person, because she was working on her relationship with her husband, that person, that coach told her, leave him. Just leave him. When she told me that, I almost fell off my chair, because this is so not how I work as a mentor, right? Because I do know what you need. I do hold space. I have walked the path, but I will never impose my opinion on you, right? And so that coach was there, but and she hated that, my client, because she wanted to work on the relationship. And the funny thing is that it's possible that when she's held in mentorship, and that's actually what happened, she realized on her own that maybe this separation might be the way to go. But she only got there because she was held in what she needed more at the core than the surface level, and was not imposed on, and was led to come to her own conclusions. And also, there's some coaches out there, like pure coaching, and I've done that too, is only about asking questions and leading you to find your own answers. There's no here's what you need necessarily. It's like, I'm going to ask questions, and there's absolutely zero imposition of anything, because I'm just kind of like this conduit for you to answer your own questions and you to find your own wisdom. And this is beautiful. I use that a lot. Again, both of them are important. But if you just have that, what I have found in my experience, for me personally as the client, and for my clients when I was purely a coach, that they felt left to their own device. I felt also the same way. I felt like, okay, great. Like, all right, I'll work on that and kind of like report next time. But I just didn't feel like, but what do I need? Well, what do you think you need? Okay, well, and it's, again, very powerful. We want to tune into our own wisdom and not be dependent on other people. But sometimes we need both. Sometimes we need like, hey, listen, here's what you need. We need to build you up from the inside out. And this is going to be the path we're going to take. And I'm going to be here with you and support you. And along the way, I'm not going to tell you what to do or what. It's going to be based on what you want. Right? Talking about a relationship, I have another client working on that, and I ask her, like, listen, are you wanting to commit to this relationship or to not commit to this relationship? Because either way, I can guide you. Either way you choose, I know what you need, and I know what we need to get you where you want to go, but it's up to you here. So just tell me. And that was the first work. Am I going to commit or am I not going to commit, right? And so we got to that. And once she decided, okay, great. And so all these things come in combination. So mentorship, I have found, is so powerful with the right mentor that can guide you, that comes from experience, that has worked the path, that hasn't lived everything you've lived. That wouldn't be possible. Like, we're all unique individuals. But there are some energetic signatures. There are some themes and patterns of things that we overcome that becomes a basis for like, hey, I know what you need. And if I don't, I'll be honest and maybe refer you out for certain things that might need different type of support, right? But ultimately there is that guidance with the combination of like, I'm not going to just tell you one size fits all, here's what you need to do, here's the solution, here's what I'm telling you from my frame of the world, from my opinion, and you're just kind of like a mini me right there that I'm breathing. Like, no. This is going to be super personalized, super tailored, and I honor you as a freaking unique soul that has divine intelligence, that you actually know what's best while I'm guiding you to what you need. So I'm not passionate about that at all, as you can tell. So if this is activating you, if this is speaking to you and you're like, amen to that, and you'd like to explore and you don't have a mentor and you're looking for a true mentor that can support you in your own growth, in what you're working on, whether it be relationships, your health, your emotions, your reactivity, all of these things, I invite you to look into the comments or the show notes if you're listening on podcast. There's going to be a link. It's completely free. You can book a one-on-one session with me. That's called Good Girl to Goddess Deep Mapping Plus Activation. And it's very tailored, very based on what you need, where you are, where you're looking to go, and what might be your next step. So if you want to have a taste of what mentorship can look like and have an idea if that's something you'd like to take on with me, just book that session. It's completely free. And if at the end you're like, no thanks, I'm good, totally cool. No pressures here. I just want to serve you. And I just want to make this one session super valuable for you and give you a taste of what that is so you can know if that's what you want and if that's what you want with me. I'd be deeply honored to be your mentor. Please reach out if you have any questions. And I'm sending you so much love. Bye, Goddess.